Greetings everybody, my name is KG Prestige and welcome back to another video here on this channel. And ladies and gents, we are going to do a quickie one with this because the Nintendo Direct is less than 12 hours away from the making of this recording, and I'm trying to get this thing out as soon as possible so that way we can actually, have a little bit of time to theorize, speculate, predict, all that jazz. So without further ado, let's go ahead and make sure we actually get what I believe is going to be one of the most mind-blowing Nintendo Directs that they're going to end off on the Switch 1. And that mainly boils down because of the fact that it's gonna be a lot of ports that I feel fans are asking more than anything in this presentation. Because obviously they're gonna save the big guns for all the Nintendo 2 Switch 2 stuff, so they gotta give us something, right? And so I believe, personally, I believe they're going to come out and throw a lot of information that we know, such as probably Metroid Prime 4, among some other video games that we know are coming out later this year, and also throw in a couple of ports that fans have been asking for quite some time. So let's go ahead and jump right into it and clear out some of the most obvious things out of the way. In my personal opinion, I think Pokemon Legends EA is going to be the first one shown off in the introduction of this presentation. They're probably not going to really do anything new per se. It's been 1 month since it was first revealed back at the Pokemon Presents. I think it would be fine to kind of show off like maybe one new zone and some mods that we didn't see from that presentation, and then potentially go a little bit deeper by talking about Mega Evolution and also introducing one or two Mega Evolutions in that presentation alongside an official release date for that said game, which I think would be very much necessary so we can know exactly when this game is going to come out. Now, it's obviously coming out holiday season. We don't know the official date for it yet, so this would be a good time to do it before the Switch 2 news really come in full throttle mode. And at least in my opinion, I think this would be the best choice for them to do so with Legends EA. So obviously, I think that's going to be the way the show introduces itself with that title. I think it's also going to probably wrap up the entire presentation with more official footage of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Obviously, come on. I don't think Metroid Prime 4 is going to actually be in the Nintendo Switch 2 presentation, personally. I think it's going to be something they want to have here just to kind of let audiences remember, oh, by the way, there's still more reason for you to buy a Nintendo Switch. And Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is a perfect prime example of that. Obviously, I know there's backwards compatibility and all that, but like I think in terms of trying to, go for the market that they're trying to sell for this title, especially with how many years this thing's been in development in the Switch, it only makes sense to kind of have Metroid Prime 4 be its core focus here in this presentation. And I think having it be the end-all, be-all for the Nintendo Switch as a whole, concept-wise, I think would be really wonderful. So yeah, I think Metroid Prime 4 is going to be the end-all, be-all. Now, with it being 30 minutes, obviously there's going to be a bunch of little mini things here and there from third-party developers and whatnot, but like, there's always that one portion in the very middle. Like, they have like that, okay, and now we come into this. And then it's like a big reveal of a title that you didn't think would ever make its way into Nintendo Switch's library. And I think this might be the one and only time we are ever going to see the Kid Icarus Uprising dream that a lot of folks have been asking for. I personally believe Kid Icarus Uprising might have a shot in this one, because why would they make a big deal with the Nintendo Switch 2 of a port of Kid Icarus Uprising for that, and instead not have it here for the Nintendo Switch 1? I think this would be a great way to kind of wrap things up for the Nintendo Switch library. You got like a new Metroid, you got a new Pokemon, you got a new remake of Kid Icarus Uprising that was on the original 3DS and now brought over to the Switch on a console. There's something that fans have been asking for so long. This would finally be the dream to see that be fulfilled. And I think it's been enough time. They've teased a little bit here and there, especially if you've ever seen Sakurai's YouTube channel. He's kind of like poked fun about it. So I think this would be the appropriate time to do so, in my opinion. So yeah, that's that. And then let's go ahead and start dabbling a little bit into like a lot of the mini content. Like what small games are they going to show off here and there? And personally, I feel this is going to be the last time they can do this, at least for a while, before we get more deeper into the lifespan of the Switch 2. But this is the only chance they got. Nintendo, I've been asking for this for like years. Years, okay? Years for this title. I don't remember how long this had happened. I think it was back when Miitopia was a thing, and we saw that officially came out, and we're like, wait a minute, if you're doing that for Miitopia, clearly you must be thinking about that other title, right? The one that's also on the 3DS that would look wonderful, in my opinion, on the Nintendo Switch. And given that we are talking about ports and theories and all that stuff, I'm just saying, Tomodachi Life from the Nintendo 3DS being ported over into the Nintendo Switch would be a dream. People need to play that game. Honestly, if you haven't had a chance to play it, please do yourself a service and play that game. That game is incredible. If you love to see wacky people, high-level celebrities, anything in between, all together, it is one of the funniest ass games of all time. And given that enough time has passed since Miitopia, and they've kind of been cooking with like the Mii Maker and all that stuff in Miitopia, it would be cool if they brought that level of features from that title over to Tomodachi Life and include more content that wasn't in the Nintendo 3DS and actually kind of go balls to the wall with it. I would love that. And I think Nintendo would benefit from it too. Come on, man. Imagine a Tomodachi game with the full-fledged capabilities that were from Miitopia, with additional side content that was not present there on the Nintendo 3DS. Imagine more songs for theater play. Imagine more funny random moments that occur in the news media and all that stuff. Like, I really do believe that this would be a wonderful way to kind of just give us more content for the Nintendo Switch before the Nintendo Switch 2 officially drops sometime later this year. I'm just saying, I think that would be great. And then, of course, if you really enjoyed it, you could just carry it over to the Switch 2, so it's not like you're losing anything, you're benefiting in that situation. So, yeah, come on, Tomodachi Life, fingers crossed for that. I would love that very, very much. This boy. So, Yarn Yoshi, I think, would be a wonderful game, or Yoshi's Woolly World, if I recall correctly. I think that's the name of it. I think that would be a wonderful title to port over from the Nintendo Wii U. Also came, I think, out on the Nintendo 3DS, I think with Yoshi and Poochie, if I recall correctly. And have all that content that was originally on the 3DS over into the Nintendo Switch. And the reason why I say that is mainly because of the fact that we kind of already did that before with Donkey Kong Country Returns, which took the content from the Wii and the ones that were on the Nintendo 3DS and put it all into the Nintendo Switch version. So I'm just saying, Yoshi's Woolly World is also that kind of similar approach too. It would be wonderful of y'all to go ahead and give us that content over onto the Nintendo Switch. It's been a couple of years, I think almost a decade actually, since we got something Yoshi related. So if you're not going to give us a brand new Yoshi game, at least port over one that you have back on the Nintendo Wii U catalog. And it is kind of funny thinking about it. Yeah, like by this point, almost all of the Nintendo Wii U games that were exclusively on Wii U are now finally kind of gone and out of the picture from that over into the to the Nintendo Switch. Like, I never thought Xenoblade Chronicles X would ever come out here on the Switch, but hey, look at that. 2025, we got X right here. That to me is insane. So, I'm just saying, it would be really, really wonderful if Yoshi also gets to tag along and then not get stuck on the Wii U family systems. And I believe there's another game that's also on there too that I know fans have been clamoring for, which I believe is the Legend of Zelda, the Wind Waker HD, as well as the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD. And I know fans have been asking for like a dual pack of those two that were originally on Wii U and bring them over to the Nintendo Switch. Personally though, I don't see that happening. If they were to release them on the Nintendo Switch, they wouldn't release it as a bundle. They would want to make sure they make the most bang for their buck. So I'm just saying they would probably bring them over separately as independent titles. Which means we have to take out more money out of our wallets for this one. But hey, at least you get them on the Nintendo Switch. So yippee to that, I guess. But what else is there to talk about? Well, I guess say we will continue to talk a little bit about Metroid. Knowing that Metroid Prime 4 is finally going to be coming out relatively soon, it might not be that much of a surprise to go and see that Metroid Prime 2 and Metroid Prime 3 would finally also make their debut on the Nintendo Switch as remasters, similar treatment to that of the original Metroid Prime that released not too long ago. Metroid fans deserve to eat good, and they deserve more. And I think this presentation would do wonders for them. Myself included. I am a Metroid fan, but I'm not like a hardcore Metroid fan. Those who deserve it, deserve it. And I think they've been waiting long enough to see 2 and 3. I think they should do it similarly to what they did with Pikmin 4 when it first came out. Or actually, no, prior to it coming out, where they just randomly shadow drop 2 and 3 and say, hey, here it is. Oh, no, it wasn't 2 and 3. It was 1 and 2 because 3 already came out through Deluxe. I apologize for that little mistake there. But yeah, I'm just saying, I think that would be really cool. But in all honesty, like, outside of, like, indie titles, I really don't see much from it. Like, I'm, like, maybe, like, little teeny tiny titles that we know about. Maybe, like, the next Just Dance or maybe the next, like, racing game or whatever it is. I really don't see what else Nintendo could reveal that would be, like, a bombshell of announcements. Obviously, Level 5 has some games they're working on, but they've been pushed back to who knows how long. So I don't know if we'll ever see the Layton game in this one, or if we'll see Deca Police or whatever the other game was that they were working on here in this presentation. I don't know if we'll see any other information in regards to Square Enix titles that would be ported over from here. Like, let's say maybe Bravely Default could make its way into this. Not Bravely. Actually, yeah, Bravely Default 2 technically is already on the Switch. And I don't think Bravely Default and Bravely Second, I don't think those ever came over to consoles yet. So maybe they could port those over. No idea. What else could they work on, though? That would be a nice way of a reveal. Well, I guess we can talk a little bit of the Nintendo Switch Online. This is going to be the last Nintendo Switch Online news for the original Nintendo Switch. So what could they have to end off that whole thing? And honestly, with the amount of Donkey Kong content that we've been getting lately, I think it would be pretty cool to see some Donkey Kong games come over once again into the NSL. I don't know, Diddy Kong Racing, is that even on the Nintendo Switch Online? Knowing how they've been working with Rare pretty much, I think it would be pretty cool to see Diddy Kong Racing actually show up in there. If it hasn't been there yet, I'm not 100% sure. I haven't been playing on the Nintendo Switch Online in that department. But I don't know if Donkey Kong 64 also hasn't made an appearance on the Switch Online. But if it hasn't yet, this would be a good time to do so. You literally just dropped Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. What was it, last month? So, I mean, drop it now here would also be more Donkey Kong for Donkey Kong fans. So, yeah. Nintendo Switch Online, I really don't see what else they could be adding. I mean, it's mainly just Rare games, honestly. Like, that's it. And I guess other Nintendo 64 titles that they haven't dropped as of yet. But in all honesty, the library is starting to shorten less and less in terms of what they can add in that said thing. GBA games deserve some love as well. I don't know what GBA games they'll add. There is one that can be translated that we would... Okay, I'll shut up on that one. But I'm just saying, I think it would be really cool to see some of these titles, that haven't been added to the NSO, finally get added to said NSO. And, that's really all I can add into that mix. Honestly, I feel for what I've talked about so far, I think that could fit like a 30-minute presentation. I think Metroid Prime 4 probably is going to eat up like maybe 5 or 6 minutes, but like 25 minutes of all this other stuff that I was talking about, I think would work just fine. I feel fans also, myself included, also need to understand that with it being the last one, they really can't go too wild because, first of all, they don't want to overshadow or overdo the Nintendo Switch 2 stuff. And essentially, most of the new content that you will want to see is probably being held for Nintendo Switch 2. Like, I don't expect a new Mario game or I don't expect a new Zelda game to show up for Nintendo Switch. They're going to save that for NS2, So, like, in terms of, like, the big IPs and all that, I don't really think we're going to see much here. But I still believe we're still going to see Nintendo first-party content up the wazoo here, either through ports or like mini titles that you wouldn't expect, which is why this is not a partner showcase. This is a Nintendo Direct full and full. It's because Nintendo themselves has first-party titles that they still haven't either revealed to us or already have been revealed and want to show more, you know? So in that department, I think that's kind of why it's simply called a Nintendo Direct and not a Nintendo presentation with like third-party showcase. So yeah, no, this is a really interesting time. I was not expecting any of this, and I'm so grateful and thankful that we are getting something for Nintendo Switch as a swan song for it. You know, Nintendo Switch has ran for such a long time. So many years with this damn console, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. And to see that the last titles that this thing could get is heavy hitters, Pokemon, Metroid, you know, potentially Yoshi, well, actually, no, not potentially. There's Xenoblade, maybe like a Mario Sports title, you know, maybe more Nintendo Switch. Like, it's going to end on a somber note, but it's going to end at least with a bang, you know, with a lot of IPs that I feel fans have been asking for so long, and I think deserve it. So, yeah, that's really all I gotta say on that front. And I don't know, maybe Fire Emblem, if Fire Emblem fans really like that sort of thing, do you think you'll see a Fire Emblem title here too? I know there was like this, it's been a while since I think we got a Fire Emblem game. I think, what was it, Engage? After that, just kind of been on quiet mode from Intelligent Systems in regards to that department. So maybe a Fire Emblem game? Maybe on the NSO, I don't really know. But like, I really don't think we'll see a remake of Fire Emblem. Hell, who knows? If they do a Fire Emblem remake, that could also probably show up somewhere in the presentation, either at the beginning or at the end. And yeah, but otherwise, that's really all I gotta say on that. I'm excited for this. I don't really think it's gonna be the most mind-blowing presentation that we're gonna have, but I still think it's gonna be a fun one. And I like for it to be fun-filled till the very end. And yeah, that's my take, at least, on the matter. So, with that being said, ladies and gents, I do want to hear from you lovelies in the comments down below. Let me know, what do you guys think about what you want to see in this upcoming Nintendo Switch presentation? And most importantly, what is the title that you are wanting out of anything that hasn't been dropped into Nintendo Switch as of yet? What is that one title you want to see more than any other title? Whether it's a port, or it's a remake, or it's a remaster, or it's just something completely new for all we know. What is it that you would want to see? Like I said, personally for me, I'm Team Tamagotchi Life, and would love to see that title be dropped on the Nintendo Switch. So, we'll find out when that time comes. Until then, ladies and gents, that's going to be it for me for today. I got to make sure I get this title, or this video done as soon as possible, because if I don't, this shit gonna be outdated as fuck. And I don't want that to happen. So my name is KG Prestige. Thank you all so very much for joining me here today, and I'll talk with all of you lovelies later in whatever video I make. Take care, everyone, and as always, do me a solid and have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye bye.